International pressure is mounting on Israel to curb violence by Israeli settlers against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. Rights groups say it's risen to unprecedented levels since the 7th of October atrocities by Hamas. There are also widespread curfews and lockdowns being imposed on Palestinians in the territory, which campaigners call collective punishment. Our Middle East correspondent Tom Bateman now reports.
Israeli settlers, some in military uniforms, fire towards Palestinian civilians. Hafez Horeini was beaten outside his own home as lawlessness stalks the West Bank. Now Hafez says the danger has come closer. He tells me how the settlers raised flags on his land the day after October the 7th. And Israeli soldiers, he says, have also set up camp in his field to protect the settlers.
What would happen if you carried on onto your own land here?
You know, often they are under our tree. I mean, the soldiers, they just like pointed the gun and, you know, scream, go back, go back. So if you just wait for a moment, he should just...
And that's you just trying to walk onto your own land?
Yeah, we can't.
We
can't like move further.
You could be shot?
Yes.
A new generation in Al Tuwani grows up to a painfully old story. It's been a target of settler violence for years, but now it's at an unprecedented scale.
They rule, you know, there's no law. To be honest, no law. They took the law in their hand and they do whatever they want. And they took the advantage of the war just to implement whatever they can, because, you know, it's like state of war, so they can kill anyone easily.
Israeli activists helping the village say the army supports the settlers in the area. They show us how roads have been blocked for some Palestinians. The military didn't respond to our questions about the attacks in Al Tuwani. Israel's Prime Minister has said anyone taking the law into their own hands will be held to account. We arrive in the city of Hebron, where extensive curfews have been in place. Jewish settlers live in the heart of the city, and the army has enforced strict lockdowns on many Palestinians. The Abu Markieh children haven't been to school for 6 weeks. A family on the front line in a city of closures, who I saw last year amid rising settler violence. Now they fear a backlash after the massacres by Hamas.
From October 7th until now, we've had no life. There has been a continuous curfew. It is a bad situation. We are living in a prison.
A soldier forces a resident back into his home. I'm telling you one last time, get inside, he says. The Israeli army says the closures are due to increased security concerns amid deadly Palestinian gun attacks on Israelis in the West Bank. But many more Palestinians have been killed. Hafez takes me to the spot where his friend was shot and critically wounded by an armed settler. The current war revives an old goal by the extremists, he says, to drive them off the land. Tom Bateman, BBC News, Al Tuwani in the occupied West Bank.